Herr Daly here. This video is part 2 of the Junior Cert German written and oral questions. The focus on the video is making sure that junior cycle or exam students are able to respond appropriately in written format and in oral format, which is speaking format, to the questions. So as I go through each question, if you've listened to part 1 of this video sub collection, I would have told you that you have a question like hat's geschmeckt, which is did you like it? So each question presented, you'll have to pause the video and see if you can answer the question, and I'd like you to answer the question out loud in a spoken fashion, or else if you can't speak, can you provide a suitable answer in your head that you'll be able to write also if it comes up in a letter or note? At the very least, do you have sufficient vocabulary to understand the theme of the question if you were reading, for example, a reading comprehension on food, or listening to your part of your oral or listening exam that had to go to with food and ingredients? Do you know all the relevant vocabulary? If any question poses you difficulty, just write them down in a checklist so that you know what you need to revise. So it's akin to when you're preparing for your examination. Instead of revising everything, you're focusing on what you don't know, and you're making a list of what you don't know. But then when you make a list of what you don't know, you need to prioritize what is the most important thing to know, what's the second most important thing to know, what's the third most important thing to know. And it's good to get into a habit of doing that early on, just to make your revision and your preparation for your examination successful. So again, I'll go through to the second question, which is fahren Sie am besten X oder Y? So do you prefer traveling via one way or the other way? See if you can answer the question in the various formats I've asked you. If not, write it down and learn the vocabulary, or ask myself or a colleague of yours to kind of like make sure you understand. Hotel. Für wie viele Personen? So again, how would you answer that? In a written format, in a spoken format? Do you know the associated vocabulary from doing a basic mind map? And if you don't know that, how are you going to find out that information? Because we'll have to just fill in any gaps in your knowledge. Haben Sie mein something bekommen? So obviously mine, the thing that's missing, obviously it would be a das word, but das word, because haben is a verb that takes the accusative case, otherwise it'd be meinen for der or meine for die. So hotel für wie viele Nächte, or how many nights? Was findest du schwierig, like what do you find difficult or easy? Was machst du in der Klasse? What do you do in class? Deutsch lernen, learn German. Wie findest du Sport? Wie findest du Deutsch? How do you find sport or PE? How do you find German? I can pause the video. As I've said, I've given you your aim, your achievable aim in this video, and if not, record any learning that need to be had. Würden Sie oder möchten Sie, would you like, fahren Sie gern nach Deutschland? So, do you like to travel to Germany? So, if you watched any of my other videos, or as I would have explained in class, where I use SVT and P, and then V1 and V2, V1 is the verb always in second position, and if you have any second verb in a sentence, it always goes to the end of the sentence. So würden Sie gern nach Deutschland fahren? Möchten Sie gern nach Deutschland fahren? Wie waren deine Ferien? How were your holidays? Beschreibe deine tägliche Routine. Describe your daily routine. Warst du schon mal im Ausland? Were you at any time abroad. The first word that's smudged out is warst, W-A-R-S-T. Welcher Unterschied gibt es zwischen irischen und deutschen Schulen? What are the differences between Irish and German schools? Was trinkst du? Was isst du? What do you drink? What do you eat? Am liebsten. What the most prefer? Magst du Irisch? Mathe? Do you like Irish or maths? Was ist dein Lieblingsfach? What is your favorite subject? Wie schreibt man das? How does one write that? In terms of like your name, for example, or for the listening aspect, I would have given you the German Länder or the major cities just to know how to spell them if they come up in the tape, or they come up in the recording. Trinkst du? Isst du? Do you drink? Do you eat? Plus gern at the end. Again, to indicate a liking of. Wie ist deine Adresse? What's your address? Was machen Sie am Wochenende? What do you do on the weekend? Wie fährst du in die Stadt? How do you travel to the city? Was machst du? Wann? What do you do when? For example, in reference to sport. Wie findest du? How do you find? Whatever we're talking about. Beschreiben Sie deinen Bruder. Describe your brother. Beschreiben Sie deine Schwester. Describe your sister. Was hat sie für eine Haarfarbe? What's his or her hair color? Was spielst du gern? What do you like playing? Was machst du in deiner Freizeit? What do you like doing in your free time? Am evening und am Wochenende. And at the weekend. Hast du Tiere zu Hause? Do you have animals at home? Bist du Einzelkind? Are you an only child? Welche sind wichtig deiner Meinung nach? Well, what's important in your opinion? And you can make up whatever context you wish. Wie verbringst du den freien Nachmittag? How do you spend your free afternoons? So again, pause the video. Can you at least give a 1, 2-line, maybe 3-line answer for the question? In a spoken format, in a written format, you have the vocabulary to comfortably answer a type of question. Is your grammar syntax okay? If not, have a checklist. I do it even myself as a teacher. Every professional does it because, again, you always need to check your information to make sure everything's okay. And if you don't, it's responsible learning to make sure that you know what you're doing, so you can be successful in your next task. Was hast du letzte Woche gemacht? What did you do last week? Stell sich vor. Describe. Just imagine it. Describe. Warum schimpfen deine Eltern? So why do your parents give out? Hast du Streit mit deinen Geschwistern oder Eltern? Do you have any arguments with your brothers or sisters or parents? Wie sagt man whatever auf Deutsch? How do you say it in German? Auf English? How do you say it in English? In welchem Fach bekommst du schlechte Noten? In which subject do you get poor grades? Benutzt du den Computer, das iPad in der Schule? Do you use a computer or an iPad in the school? Sorry. Hast du einen Job? Do you have a job? Wie gefallen dir die Fächer? How do you like your subjects? Welches Fach hast du nicht gern? Which subject do you not like? Welches Fach hast du am liebsten? Which subject do you like the most? Wie findest du dieses Fach? How do you find this subject? Wie viel Uhr ist es? What time is it? Or is it in the part 1 video? Wie spät ist es? What time is it? Sorry. So, was willst du machen? What do you want to do? Kann oder darf ich Ihnen helfen? The reason why darf there is the difference between can I help you and may I help you. Can states your ability of being able to do it or not. So, the funny statement is, can I go to the toilet? And like, I don't know if one has the ability to do so, because I don't know if you have that skill. I'm assuming you do have the skill. So you're asking, may you do something? Because can is like looking for verification of a skill or a talent. Was haben die Geschäfte in Irland auf? So when did the shops open up in Ireland? Brauchst du etwas? Do you need anything? Wie viel Uhr? And whatever you're mentioning. Bearing in mind is that German word order, subject, verb, you've time, manner, place, but you can have time, manner, place, and just get rid of the letters and just bang them all together and make X, so SVX. So if you're putting any of the TMP, which is now reduced to X, to the start of a sentence, you'd have X VS because the verb is always in second position. So wie viel Uhr stehst du auf, for example. Was kostet? What does something cost? Sparst du für etwas? Do you save for anything? Wie viel Uhr hast du gesperrt? Note that you might come across the verb spenden, S-P-E-N-D-E-N. That means to donate in German. Verdienst du etwas? Do you earn anything? Was machst du jetzt? What are you doing now? Okay.